Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP Today. Alex Rins led the way on the second day of MotoGP's Sepang Shakedown Test, giving Yamaha a confidence boost ahead of the new season. The session saw changing track conditions after heavy rain overnight, but by the end of the day, Rins managed to edge out teammate Fabio Quartararo to top the timesheets. Ducati has introduced a new fairing on its Desmosedici GP25 during the Sepang MotoGP Shakedown Test, with test rider Michele Pirro giving the latest aerodynamic updates their first on-track evaluation. The changes appear to refine Ducati's already advanced aerodynamics, with key modifications to the front wing, sidepod wings, and downwash ducts. Fabio Quartararo remains committed to Yamaha but admits that 2025 is a crucial year for the Japanese factory. The Frenchman has high hopes for the project but acknowledges that this could be his last chance with the team if they don't return to competitiveness. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Heavy rainfall overnight meant that the second day of the Sepang Shakedown Test started later than expected, with riders only heading out onto the track after midday. The test featured Yamaha factory riders Alex Rins and Fabio Quartararo, Pramac Ducati riders, and Honda LCR rookie Samkiat Chantra. Meanwhile, Honda's factory riders were absent as they were in Jakarta for the official bike launch. As the session got underway, Fermin Aldeguer initially set the benchmark with a 1 minute and 59.479 seconds, showing growing confidence on the Ducati. The Gresini rider held the top spot ahead of KTM's Pol Espargaro and Dani Pedrosa, who were separated by just 0.008s and 0.2s, respectively. Quartararo settled into fourth, followed by Honda's Takaki Nakagami and Ai Ogura. As track conditions improved, Ai Ogura put his Honda at the top of the standings, clocking a 1 minute and 59.342 seconds, overtaking Aldeguer's previous best. The KTMs of Espargaro and Pedrosa remained steady in third and fourth, with Quartararo and Nakagami still in the top six. Meanwhile, Jack Miller, now riding the Yamaha M1, managed to dip under the 2-minute mark, closing in on the frontrunners. In the final hour of the session, Quartararo delivered a strong lap of 1 minute and 58.812 seconds, becoming the first rider to break into the 1:58 range for the day. This signaled that the track was now offering much better grip. Aldeguer responded with an improved time, finishing just 0.118s behind Quartararo, while Espargaro remained third, with Ogura close behind. As the session drew to a close, it was Alex Rins who stole the show, setting the fastest lap of 1 minute and 58.745 seconds on his Yamaha M1. His late charge saw him edge out teammate Quartararo and KTM test rider Dani Pedrosa. Only 4 riders, Rins, Quartararo, Ogura, and Aldeguer, were able to dip below the 1:59 mark, with the rest of the field further adrift. At the back of the standings, Ducati test rider Michele Pirro recorded a 2 minutes and 0.903 seconds, followed closely by Aprilia's Lorenzo Salvadori at 2 minutes and 0.921 seconds. Alex Espargaro completed the test with a 2 minutes and 1.714 seconds, while Thai rookie Samkiat Chantra finished his session with a 2 minutes and 1.028 seconds. With Alex Rins topping the timesheets, Yamaha can take confidence from their performance in Sepang. However, with other manufacturers also showing promising pace, the battle is only just beginning. The focus now shifts to the full preseason test, where teams will get their first true indication of their competitiveness ahead of the 2025 MotoGP season. Ducati has been at the forefront of MotoGP aerodynamics, and this latest update, spotted on Michele Pirro's GP25 during the Sepang Shakedown Test, suggests that the Italian manufacturer is continuing to push the boundaries. Pirro, Ducati's test rider, has been running multiple configurations, including an unpainted carbon fiber fairing, hinting at significant changes for 2025. A closer look at photos released on MotoGP's social media shows that Ducati has altered the bottom plane of the front wing, making it thinner with a deeper curve profile, possibly to improve airflow and front-end stability. While rookie Fermin Aldeguer is also taking part in the test, he is riding a year-old GP24 rather than the newly developed GP25. Beyond the front wing, Ducati appears to have adjusted the sidepod wings. Although the angle of the images makes precise analysis difficult, it seems that the bottom plane of the sidepod wing has been raised compared to the 2024 version. Additionally, the outer surface of the left-hand sidepod wing is now curved rather than flat, which could improve airflow management along the bodywork. The most striking change, however, is the downwash duct, which is now much taller and wider than its predecessor. This component was first introduced at Ducati's Misano test in 2024 and was later adopted by Jorge Martin and Enea Bastianini for the remainder of the season, though reigning champion Francesco Bagnaia opted against using it. In its latest iteration, the upper part of the duct now reaches almost in line with the front mudguard, whereas last year's version sat significantly lower. This suggests Ducati is aiming for even more aggressive airflow management to generate additional downforce. Another notable addition is a new set of Stegosaurus wings positioned behind Pirro's arms. These carbon black aerodynamic elements resemble the tail section wings Ducati introduced in previous years, but are now mounted further forward and connected by a bridge element. While their exact positioning is unclear from the available images, it's likely that these wings have been placed just behind the seat unit, ensuring they do not interfere with the rider's mobility. As for the bulged ground effect section at the lower fairing, it remains similar to last year's design, though it is unclear if Ducati has made additional refinements. Ducati continues to lead MotoGP's aerodynamics revolution, with the latest GP25 fairing debuting significant changes at the Sepang Shakedown Test. While the full impact of these updates will only become clear once factory riders like Francesco Bagnaia and Enea Bastianini hit the track, early indications suggest that Ducati is once again setting the standard in MotoGP innovation. Yamaha has struggled to match its rivals in recent seasons, but Fabio Quartararo has chosen to remain loyal to the project, believing that the changes within the team could bring the turnaround they need. He revealed that he had extensive discussions with Yamaha and even held talks with Aprilia before ultimately deciding to stay. A key factor in his decision was the arrival of Massimo Bartolini, a former Ducati engineer, whose presence gave Quartararo the confidence to continue. "I had lost faith in the project, but Bartolini convinced me. That's why I stayed and continue working on the aerodynamics development," Quartararo stated. One of Quartararo's biggest demands was for Yamaha to secure a satellite team, something they had lacked in recent years. That request has now been fulfilled with Pramac Racing's switch from Ducati to Yamaha for 2025. "The satellite team was the hardest thing to secure. Pramac played a key role in Ducati's success, and we hope they will do the same for us," Quartararo explained. Pramac's presence will provide additional development data and testing opportunities, a critical factor for Yamaha as they seek to close the gap to Ducati and KTM. Yamaha is also working on a V4 engine, marking a major shift from its traditional inline-4 configuration. However, Quartararo insists that this isn't the immediate focus. "The V4 project is ongoing, but it's not high on my list. Right now, we need to concentrate on improving the inline-4, which is what we'll use in testing," he said. Unlike Honda, which has struggled with its own V4 concept, Yamaha seems to be taking a gradual approach before making a full transition. Yamaha has brought in 2 new test riders, Augusto Fernandez and Andrea Dovizioso, to help with development. Quartararo welcomed their addition, particularly Fernandez, who is coming straight from KTM's MotoGP program. "It was important to have a fresh MotoGP rider in the test team. I'm curious to see how this will help us in the upcoming tests," Quartararo noted. Despite all these changes, Quartararo acknowledges that Yamaha is still far from title contention but is optimistic about breaking into the top 5. With the spotlight on Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez as title favorites, Quartararo hopes that Yamaha can spring a surprise. Bagnaia and Marquez are the clear favorites, but there's always someone who surprises. Hopefully it will be us, he concluded. Fabio Quartararo remains dedicated to Yamaha's rebuild, but he has made it clear this is their last chance to prove they can return to the front. With a new satellite team, fresh engineers, and continued development, 2025 will be a defining season for both Yamaha and their star rider. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today. This is your MotoGP news update. See you in the next video.